What's up, traders? This is Matt with Conservative Trades, and boy, I hope y'all's day was much better than mine. This is the worst day I've had in a while, and not proud of it. And I tell you what, I just got my butt kicked. I got my butt handed to me multiple times today, and this market just proves to continue to be as irrational as all get out. It really does. And, I tell you what, if you've got a long strategy, if you are a long bias trader, you're doing pretty well. You're probably doing pretty well, and you're probably doing much better than I am. Because I'll tell you what, long setups have been working out much better today. I mean, they really have. And if you're not really watching the SPY, and if all you're doing is really watching the single tickers, and just have the charts up for the tickers that you're trading, again, if you're long biased, you're probably doing pretty well. I, on the other hand, am short biased, and the kind of, I guess, the annoying thing for me is, and it goes back to, I've talked to you guys about this many times. In this market, it just seems to be that when I take what is typically the most beautiful, perfect looking setup for a short, for some reason, if the SPY starts behaving irrationally or moving in a different direction, these symbols will just not work out for me. Again, this is look, if you have a long bias strategy, you're probably doing pretty well. I mean, you probably are. But again, I just really got my butt handed to me. Now, is it a horrible day? No, but it's above my max loss, and you can see there's a lot of red here, and I'm just not proud of this. I hate that it worked out this way. And honestly, I'll tell you this. I mean, there's several small losses here. Boeing, $34. Okay, fine. mRNA, $35. Okay, fine. Even, $90 loss on AMD, $70 loss on RCL, fine. I can deal with that. But this move right here, Tesla, and this move right here on Zoom, Zoom really should have been about a $100 loss, because I was going for about a $200 win on that trade. And so this isn't a very good risk to reward. Basically it's a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Okay. So if I had really played Zoom according to my rules, I really should just be down about $100 there. So really my P&L should say 519 right now. Okay. But really this trade on Tesla, on one hand, I want to say I shouldn't have taken it, but on another hand, I have to say that I was taking a good trade. I really was. And Tesla was diverging from the SPY completely until I started taking this trade. And I can't help but to think to myself, if I had just left Tesla alone, I mean, really this would, if I'd left Tesla alone and if I'd played my rules right on ZM, we really should be looking at about, there's $450 of losses in here that I probably didn't have to have today. But let me show you what was going on with Tesla. So first of all, everywhere you see one of these red dots is where I started getting in. Okay. And I took 10 shares here. Why did I take 10 shares here? Well, Tesla was losing its shirt, right? It was losing its shirt, and it looked like, first of all, on the daily here, this is bearish. This is bearish. It had come all the way up to 741.88 and had sold off all the way down. We're talking 30 points yesterday. Okay, now today it did open up here, but it seemed as though in pre-market it had a great run up, but then people were taking profits. And then it tried to run up again, and it couldn't. And it just got slammed back down. Tried to run up again, got slammed back down. Tried to run up, got a VWAP rejection, perfect, beautiful. And this just looked like this was going to go today. It looked like we were at least going to get a retest of 700. And so I really just was getting in with 10 shares, hoping to get a good $100 move. Well, it started coming up. But you know what? I was also watching the SPY up in another monitor, and SPY was just going back and forth right here on its pre-market low. Back and forth, really in a period of consolidation. The whole time it was doing it, what was Tesla doing? Tesla was getting crushed. So major divergence here, guys. Major divergence from the SPY. And so I thought to myself, well, as long as SPY is doing this, and so I got short, and then what happened? Right when I got short, all of a sudden at 1150, you can see it right here, all of a sudden at 1150, when SPY started coming back up, Tesla started making a move back up. Okay? and Tesla went all the way up. And I kept averaging in because I figured, I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll just take 5 shares here, 5 shares here, 5 shares here. And, and I was really trying to take another 5 shares up here. But I was looking for it to roll over and retest this bottom. And I figured, if it can show a little bit more divergence from the SPY, well, it started to right here. It started rolling over, and here we are at 1235. Well, look at 1235 here on the SPY. 1235 SPY is getting bought up. So here we go again. It's rolling over. Big wick here. It didn't even make it to VWAP. Again, we had a major rejection multiple times up here in pre-market, good VWAP rejection rollover, and I thought, okay, it's now starting to diverge from the SPY again. I could have actually gotten out break even around this point right here because I brought my average all the way up to about right here. So there was a point where I could have gotten out break even, but I didn't because I thought, you know what, it's diverging now from the SPY. It's having a major drop. SPY is getting bought up. Tesla's dropping. So I wanted to give it time to work its way down here, and I still would have, maybe made 100, maybe 150 bucks. Okay, but what happened? SPY started showing that strength again, breaking up through a key level, and it immediately turned around and started coming back up. And I even averaged in again here, just because I figured SPY was coming up against a key level, and maybe it would get rejected. And sure enough, SPY hit this key level, and it got rejected. Started coming all the way down here, and guess what? Tesla started coming all the way down, but it started bottoming out. And this is when I realized, okay, now Tesla is following SPY. Now Tesla's following SPY. And if SPY cannot break down through VWAP, Tesla's going to move back up. So I got out some shares here, and I got out the rest here. And I took a pretty significant loss, but it still wasn't even that bad. Okay, it still wasn't even that bad. And so here, we started to see divergence again. Okay, so SPY was breaking up through these key levels, but look at Tesla. Tesla just could not break VWAP. So it started showing divergence again. And guys, I've seen this so many times before. Again, for a short bias trader, these are the types of things that you're looking for. Okay, so it looked perfect again. Again, this was the second time it had gotten VWAP rejection while the SPY was strong. It was divergent from the SPY. SPY was breaking up through some really nice key levels, and Tesla was coming down, and it broke through all the moving averages. Over here. So I said, all right, this is it. I've seen this so many times where, yeah, you could get faked out a couple times, but if it keeps enough of a divergence from the SPY, if it can't break VWAP, you're going to get a good solid move. So I thought, this is it. And I went ahead and took 20 shares here, guys. 20 shares. That's double the size of the position I normally take with Tesla. But I was just looking for a good move down, even a test of these levels, and just looking to make a couple $100 and maybe dig myself out of the hole a little bit on Tesla. I would have maybe ended the day down, $100 on Tesla at that point. But guys, it just faked me out again. It just faked me out again. I mean, I tell you what, like I said, if you're a long bias trader, you're probably living in a dream right now. You're probably doing well and probably having an easy time. But for short bias trader, for the bears, this has been really, really hard. For the bears, this has just been really, really hard. Okay, and I can't tell you how many of these stocks that I traded on, same thing. They at 1 minute they are forming the most perfect setups. They're meeting key areas of resistance. Listen, I only short in 3 different cases. Number one, if we are meeting key areas of resistance and the stock's looking weak, I'll go short on it. Okay, and usually we can get a pretty good move, right? But for some reason, again, if the SPY is showing strength, it doesn't matter. Okay, but that's one case where I'll go short. I'll go short there. I'll also go short if I'm seeing a steady downtrend and a healthy downtrend. That's kind of what I did on Boeing. I was seeing a very steady, look at this, healthy downtrend. Well, look, SPY was doing this. All the while Boeing was moving down, SPY was just moving back and forth, 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 back and forth. And Boeing was just continuing to get a good steady move down. I just so happened to short the bottom, guys. I just so happened to short the bottom. Okay, and I didn't see, there wasn't any like super major areas of support here. I mean, we kind of had a little area here, but to me, it could have gone back, a little further down into these areas down here. And the sentiment overall today on Boeing was that it's going to maybe go down to the 120s. Okay, I thought I could at least get a test of 130s. Okay, but look at this. As soon as I got in, SPY started showing strength and getting bought up right here, and sure enough, Boeing started following suit. I of course, I got out. I didn't stay in this stock. I went ahead and got out, and I'm glad I did because guys, this was the bottom today. This was the bottom today. But this is the second kind of stock. If I see a good, steady, healthy downtrend, and here's the thing: if SPY continued to just consolidate, or if SPY had actually broken these levels and moved down, I think we would have gotten a good move on Boeing. Okay, but these are the times where I'll take a short if I see a good, steady downtrend. It's not like I was catching a fallen knife here. Okay, it's not like this just had a big drop all the way down and I tried to not catch a falling knife, but short into a falling knife. That to me would have been dangerous. But no, this was a good, steady, healthy sell-off for several hours of the into the market open. A good, healthy sell-off. Okay, and I thought maybe we can get a good move at least down to 130. Okay. I was going for maybe making a couple $100 on that. So I lost a little. I'm fine with that. It doesn't bother me. And I went short again right here. You can't even see the red dot. But I was nervous and I just went ahead and got out. Made maybe a little bit money back. But so again, going back, the 3 different times I'll take a short. If I see a stock that's moving up and it's meeting really critical areas of resistance, I'll go short. Okay. And if there's a very steady, slow downtrend, I'll go short. Or for breakdowns. If we see a stock selling off pretty hardcore, and if the SPY looks like it's making a sell off, I'll look for breakdowns. I'll look for breakdowns where it's kind of in consolidation in key areas, and I'll look for a good solid breakdown through that area. Okay. But guys, just every single time I saw my setup today, it just worked against me. In the majority of the time, it was working against me because the SPY. It was just the most irrational day of trading that I've had in a long time, guys. And I don't know. Anyway, but that's the day. That's the recap. Gonna come back here tomorrow, guys. Gonna give it another shot. We're gonna try again. But hopefully I explain things a little bit in depth enough in this video, or I explain them well enough in this video to maybe give some clarity on what my strategy entails. And here's the really frustrating part about this strategy. There are so many trades here that I took where I could have gotten out with a nice little, maybe $40 win, $50 win, maybe even $80 to $100 win on some of these stocks. But I was looking for a bigger move. Why? Because I had conservative share size. And I wanted those shares to go to work for me. And this is the frustrating part, because in this market, I think to myself on days like this, man, if I had just taken the $50 here, the $40 there, the $80 here, the $100 there, man, I'd be up on the day. But no, I set pretty long stops. I wanted the stocks to have room to breathe, to have room to move up and down and finally work themselves out. But I just got stopped out every single time. It was death by 1,000 cuts today. Death by 1,000 cuts. I just kept getting stopped out at every single point. And guys, I really just can't explain it, But it is what it is. And I feel like I need to continue to just trade the strategy. I just need to continue to trade it, because here on stocks like what's this? What's another one I took today? Was it Roku? No, AMD. AMD. Look at AMD. Look at AMD. I called this top right here. Again, this was one of those trades where I saw it hitting key area of resistance. And look, it hit these areas twice today. It hit it here, came down. Hit it here, came down. Okay. So I knew that this was a good area of possible resistance. So I didn't even trade. You can look at all this. I didn't even trade AMD in any of this. I waited for it to get all the way up here, and then I went short. But because of the SPY, I was watching the SPY, and the SPY was making me nervous. I didn't give it enough time to work it out. But, and that's the other part of it. It's the psychology of it. Once I am taking a good trade, I get out quickly just to secure some profits and try to reduce my losses. But I should have let this go. This would have easily dug me out of this hole on AMD, and I would have ended up, maybe $100, $150. So I'll tell you what, guys, it really is just frustrating times for me right now. But I'm trying to stay positive, and it's not anything devastating. I'm going to come back in tomorrow. I'm going to trade the strategy, guys. I'm going to give it another shot. I'm going to try to let these stocks play out, and hopefully tomorrow will be a much better day. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.